My name is Professor Adam, and I'm going to teach you how to become a professional cryptocurrency investor. I've been active in finance for almost 9 years, and I've made millions of dollars without the need for luck. I'm going to teach you everything that I have learned throughout my years of finance, all of the study, the research, the pain and suffering, so you too can learn from my experience and become elite. So what is cryptocurrency investing? It's buying digital assets and then getting paid massive amounts of money at a later date when you sell them because they have multiplied in value. You'll be taught multiple methods for how to do this, leveraging my years of deep research and world-class systems. When people invest by themselves with no mentorship, they usually get scammed quickly or lose all of their money because the market moves are too fast or confusing. But with my systematic investing, you develop high-quality criteria that tells you clearly what to do to make profit over the long run with far less risk. Most fake trading salesmen online seduce you with flashy Instagrams, and they teach the same ineffective shit between different accounts. This university and this campus specifically is different because I am an effective professional and I will guide you every step of the way. After going through the basics, my masterclass will teach you up to 5 uniquely profitable methods invented by me that will make you elite. So how much do you need to get started? Well, it's up to you. The more you have to start with, the more it's going to become once you multiply. If you look at the amount that you want to invest and you say to yourself, this is a huge amount of money, this is a good amount, and if I was to multiply it, it would meaningfully change my life, then cryptocurrency investing is for you. So if you're ready for the 100, 1,000, 10,000% gains, then get ready to go through the hundreds of lessons that we have in the campus to make you elite, and I'll be here to guide you every step of the way. GM, my G's, how's everybody going today? It's your man, Professor Adam, back at you again with another live investing analysis. And today, of course, as per usual, we will be going through everything. So let's get straight into it. First things first, we have the TPI. So it has a negative rate of change, which you all probably would be aware of because we have had a bit of a dip in the market, haven't we? Oh no, can't have dips now. One candle that takes us back into the range. Oh God, imagine all the suffering and all the pain of all the people who were trying to long the breakout here and go up like that. I'm sure there's lots of you out there, and there's probably some of you watching this fucking stream right now that tried to leverage along this breakout and go 10x long right at the base of this here candle and then got destroyed, even on Ethereum, which hasn't even gone down that much at all. And of course, you can see the ETH BTC ratio is still powering on like an absolute fucking champion because that's how we do it. So anyway, the TPI itself, you can see that it's not gone into what I would describe as the neutral zone. We are not at 0.1 and we're not anywhere below that or even near it for the moment. And to be completely honest with you, I don't really foresee a circumstance where we go into that zone again. And as you can see, long-term TPI is still long, nothing to be concerned about there. We do have an update from Cross-Border Capital, so I will open with this one as we go into the analysis. So as per usual, if this is your first live stream ever, if this is your first investing analysis ever, welcome. As you should be aware, or you will become aware over time, global liquidity, which is the behavior of central banks, is the main driving force of cryptocurrency prices. So we do everything we can to figure out precisely what they're doing over a longer period of time, and then we use our systems to manage exposures, whether they are long-term exposures or medium-term exposures. So part of doing that is getting into these capital wars letters and figuring out precisely where global central bank liquidity is going. So let's work through it one step at a time. Central bank liquidity conditions continue to improve. The upturn has been led by the Fed and the People's Bank of China. Global economic activity is providing resilient despite the loss of momentum since November. Given the improving liquidity background and resilience of economies, we would expect investors to be risk on. Our investor exposure indicators show that they are, even though they have been pared back overall since August. So this very hard to read thing, I'm going to just leave that up on the screen there. The resolution is incredibly low, but I'll read it out. All the relevant points to you. Latest weekly balance sheet data for the major central banks shows liquidity expanding at 6.63 months annualized. This compares an average of 1% through the year of 2023 and negative 5% through the year 2022. So quite high on a 3-month basis. Liquidity growth expressed in US dollar terms has seen an even sharper upswing, although the US dollar's recovery in recent days has tempered the pace Still, the US unit is off its peak against all the other major currencies. Going forwards, US dollar weakness boosts the value of non-US central bank liquidity translated into US dollars. Added to this exchange rate related boost, the Fed itself has been gradually adding liquidity to financial markets, which we are aware of. The pace of People's Bank of China liquidity injections has slowed in the last 10 days. This is not unusual at this time of year. We suspect that the People's Bank of China is holding back in anticipation of seasonal liquidity boosts around the time of the Lunar New Year. The Lunar New Year this year falls on the 10th of February. So that has been the main discussion points that we've been looking at over the last, however many weeks we've been looking at this. So People's Bank of China is one of the main stimulus events, and we've had somebody yesterday actually showed me Google Trends. It was like Chinese Lunar New Year, and it was like Google Trends, and you can see a cyclical pattern of this stimulus happening around that time of year. So that's going to be very beneficial for us. I mean, if you pulled up the seasonality data, you could probably find a correlation somewhere in the short term between that and cryptocurrency prices. So we have the Fed that is mildly stimulatory, and we have the People's Bank of China that is about to throw a big bucket of liquidity into the markets in about 1 month's time. Somebody told me also the Lunar New Year celebrations operate over several days, so it's not a single event. It's actually maybe like a week-long event, so maybe the liquidity will come slightly after that. So in like not 30 days exactly, maybe like 33, 34 days or something like that. So worthwhile keeping an eye on and keeping our minds on that. Until then, over the next 1 month, the next 4 weeks, the market will probably operate in a slight drift upwards, and we will be paying attention to technical factors. So the Fed liquidity has seen double-digit growth for 8 consecutive weeks. Latest data shows it's growing at 16%, 3-month annualized. Nominal terms, Fed liquidity stands at these numbers. The fall in reverse repos has been the main driving factor, and they've fallen from these. The spike in ECB liquidity growth is due to a base effect and reflects the low point in September when liquidity hit 5.1 trillion. So, that's on the next page. Sorry. Yeah. December, the advanced normalization of the Eurosystem's balance sheet means that we shouldn't expect liquidity levels to rise anytime soon. So ECB and Europe are still going through a quantitative tightening phase where they're trying to roll off those balance sheets. It doesn't matter what they're doing, really. As long as America is printing and as long as China is printing, they're the two major economies, so they're going to be the main determinants of liquidity. Now, if ECB was to pivot, that would indeed provide a massive amount of stimulus to the global financial system and, of course, to cryptocurrencies. But in isolation, them doing QT and tightening those balance sheets isn't going to have a major effect on a net basis if the United States and China are still printing. So Bank of Japan remains mildly negative, and the Bank of England is also shrinking. So you can see here that the increase in the Eurozone liquidity, he said it was a base effect, and that's actually coming from there. So nothing major. Given the improving liquidity background and resilience of economies, we would expect investors to be risk on. Our investor exposure indicators show they have been, even though they've been paring back overall exposure since August. At the country level, they are being highly selective. Through 2023, there was clear rotation away from China. They're talking about country-specific exposures. And the same thing down here. So overall, nothing really has changed in it. Talking about liquidity and the main driving factor of crypto, nothing really much has changed. Still good news, no major red flags, business as usual, up only. There are no pullbacks. No, this isn't a pullback. Don't come to me and say, Adam, this is a pullback. This isn't a dip. This is not I don't define this as a dip, okay? So don't even for a second think that that's what this is. It's not. A dip is like something that goes 20%, negative 20%. The biggest dip we've had this entire time was this, I think. That was negative 11%. Actually, what's this? Negative 15% from peak to lower wick. Minor price action. Now, I haven't looked at this in lead-off morning note yet from 42 macro, but we'll go through it very quickly together and see if there's anything in here. More mixed US inflation data. Yep, don't care. Yeah, no, nothing there. Okay. Bitcoin is still a max long position in their discretionary ideas. Weather model has changed by the looks of it. Neutral? Oh my god, something is not right here. Okay, holy shit. Bitto is a little bit overbought there. As as usual, what I say is that when you see Bitto come along this x-axis here, that's not really something to worry about too much. But when it starts coming up the y-axis, that's a bit of a concern. This would have been yesterday's data, which is probably consistent with the ETF fund flows coming from Bitcoin, new released ETFs. I'm looking forward to when they replace Bitto with a different ETF, maybe the BlackRock one, so that we can get more accurate data on that. VAMs can see that Bitcoin and Ethereum are probably at the bottom ends of those ranges right now. Actually, I could probably pull that up on this chart. Yeah. Bitcoin below the bottom end of its range there. So very, very oversold. And Ethereum, not even remotely oversold. So it has a long way to go yet. And this VAMS over here would probably represent that as well. See how high it is. Okay. Now let's have a look at this weather model because that's concerning. Oh, dispersion on its way down. Okay, so what the fuck is going on here? Net liquidity and global liquidity are still positive, but Bitcoin is now in a neutral weather model outlook. That doesn't make much sense to me. I would love to know what the actual reason for that is. It must have something to do with the exchange rate. I'll scroll up and have another look in a moment. But that doesn't look like, unless this is broken into an uptrend based upon 42 macros VAM system. Let's go up and check it out. Okay, the composite signals for stocks and Bitcoin deteriorated, and the composite signal for the US dollar improved due to a phase transition in the sovereign fiscal balance nominal GDP ratio component signal, which is now trending higher. The composite signals currently indicate the top-down market regime no longer has a high probability of remaining in risk-on condition over the next 3 months. Fiscal balance nominal GDP component. Okay, but is it a primary driver of cryptocurrency prices? How the fuck can this possibly be considered a substantial How the fuck can this possibly be considered a substantial signal when the baseline rate of return of Bitcoin is at 17.3%? And the falling and rising state of this indicator doesn't even remotely reflect alpha beyond this on the upside, or significantly down on the downside. There's no signal here. Fuck that weather model, but whatever. I'll trust Darius. It's the weather model is only one component input in the LTPI, so I'll provide a update to the LTPI after this investing analysis, but I can tell you right now that this is bullshit, and I do not fucking trust this at all. Can get fucked, man. All right, what else? Good. Demand deficiencies persist. That's what I want to see from China, which means more stimulus. Yep. All right. Cool. All right. Let's get into some of the other data now. Nothing interesting or useful here. Everything's looking fine. Let's look at the liquidation maps. You remember yesterday's liquidation map? It was looking very rough, I think, on Ethereum to the downside, but yet it's still outperformed Bitcoin during this dip. And it doesn't really look like there's much fuel left for this dip either. We have a lot of people shorting this. So I'm assuming we're going to have a reversion event here. Very little downside movement, followed by a reversion up, which is going to continually chop people in this range. This is your destiny before the halving, or before stimulus, I should say. Grind it sideways, then post Lunar New Year, run it up, sell the halving. Ignore the noise, follow liquidity. Oh my God. To be fair, the ETH-BTC ratio probably deserves a pullback of some sort back down to this level before going back up again. That is a crazy series of candles right there. And think about the date range as well. You've completely erased 98 days of chop on the ratio in 4 one-day candles. In 4 days, you erase over 3 months worth of chop on the ETH-BTC ratio. So the entire time that we've been buying this, almost since October when we went long there, we are now just basically back at where we started again. So it goes to show that there's no need to worry too much about micromanaging your ETH-BTC exposures on a long-term portfolio. This ratio is going to trend upwards from here on out. Because that's what happens every other bull market. Solana looks very biased to the upside. Okay. So if the ETH liquidation map ratio is biased to the downside and the Solana liquidation map is biased to the... If they're on opposing directions, maybe this ratio here is worthwhile watching. Maybe that is a signal that this has reached its pivot point, and that's actually going to continue up from here. Bitcoin increasing sentiment on downwards prices is not good. ETH down sentiment on down prices is good. Solana sentiment is very, very high. Then why are people shorting it? If it's so loved, then why are people shorting it? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, in that case, I'm not going to take a strong position on that. I'm just going to say it may be worthwhile watching the Sol ETH ratio. Nothing interesting there. Business as usual. Business as usual. No update. What about this? Okay, it still hasn't updated from yesterday, which is annoying. Wouldn't surprise me to see that decline. No updates. Futures heat. Ah, yes. Yeah, still very oversold on an open interest weighted basis. So short term, yeah, so that would align with this, I believe. Yes, so those two are in agreement. Let me have a look at BTC again. Still very low. So that there being very low, and this here having an up bias, I believe, are in agreement somewhat. No update there. Breadth in the stock market still coming down, which is also confirmed by dispersion. So it wouldn't surprise me, actually, to see a range here. Maybe we could be grinding sideways, maybe even downwards slightly. Hard to say. Hard to say. My bias still in the long term is up, so I'm going to follow the systems I'm going to follow the systems in the medium term, and I'm not going to take a very strong, like, qualitative bias here. I'm not going to say that there's any particular direction to this in the short term. Sideways, up or down. We'll follow the systems, see what the systems tell us, but this time frame here is a lot different. Whatever happens before this, who cares, right? I don't care, neither should you. It is what it is. But from here onwards, we know that we're going to be going up, probably up into the halvings as well. Run it up in expectation of this, and it will be just like the ETF. It'll be a buy the rumor, sell the news. All the normies will buy into this, and then from there, we'll probably come back down to fair value after everybody realizes it's not as crazy as we thought it was. That will be the air gap produced by the drainage of the reverse repo program before we have mad rate cuts and quantitative easing coming in at the end of the first half to be somewhere over here, which will have us grinding downwards and then up only from then on to Valhalla. So that's the game plan overall in my mind. Now, what I'll do is I'll go into the chat channels and you guys can ask me some questions. All right. GM actually stopped date night with the fiance to watch Professor Adam. She's pissed, but I can win game without the win the game without the queen. The queen's your most powerful piece, my friend. If she's listening to this right now, let her know that I appreciate her. I appreciate her giving you time to watch this because it's very important. Prof. Adam changing lives. I do what I can, man. Yeah, she'll thank you later when you buy the yacht. Hey, the professor, really excited to learn. Good to have you, man. Shall I finish the DCA into this dip? I'm 75% allocated. No, just stick to the process, man. Stick to the process. I'm at work soon, but I saw the notification. I'm here listening to the G. Good work, man. Brother, I feel you. I kicked the mother of my child out of their house to focus on investing. Whoa. When do you plan on doing the next indicator hunt? No plans to do another one at the moment. Every time Adam takes away somebody's masterclass, they're taking the advice to heart. You can brute force your way to success. Please don't listen to that advice. I mean, the brute force has to be done intelligently. You can't just hit your head against a brick wall and say, oh, look, I'm putting in effort. You need to work towards something intelligently. And only once you figure out, it's like the saying, work smarter, not harder. No, you need to work smart and you need to work hard. Find out what the smart goal is and find out what the smart path to get there is, and then work brutally hard along that path. Hey, Prof, what are your thoughts on shitcoin, Obama, cumcoin? Let's have a look. Bitcoin. Wait. Dexes. Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu. This is the real Bitcoin, in case you guys were wondering. This is the real Bitcoin. None of this Satoshi's vision shit. To the moon. 390x. Just kidding. Please don't go out there and buy this token. Friday night, I'm here with you all, working on my future. Good. Is the stream lag? No, it's just yours. My honest reaction. My friend is investing in crypto for the last couple of months and he's not in the real world. I try and convince him to join and he still believes that the real world is a scam. And today when he saw the dip, he shit his pants and sells all of his bags. That's why the people in the real world always win. My friend, we will always win because we take a higher time frame perspective on all this stuff within the cryptocurrency investing campus. We only stack the probabilities in our favor. There is no luck. There is no guessing. There is no gambling. Now, you may not like the process that incorporates those principles. Be aware that your brain, your ape brain, will probably say to you, oh, but I'm bored, or what about this thing, or what about this shiny object? And you're running around between different shiny objects trying to catch the tail of some random pump that you saw or some special hint that somebody gave you. We don't do any of that shit. We only approach the cryptocurrency investing activity like a scientific endeavor. This is basically the scientific method. This is what we do. If that is not appropriate for you and you want to go somewhere else and gamble, that's good. Fuck off and don't bring it into my campus, because I'm only concerned with maximizing my success. It's not just about getting rich. It's about getting rich for sure. There is no maybe. Okay, I cannot live without becoming rich for sure. Okay, a lot of you think that you're ready for this mindset, but you're not, because you would rather gamble and have a chance at success. So in your mind, you can dream about your success rather than engaging with the reality of the process and the dirt and the shit and the suffering and the grind in the moment when you're actually doing the work to build your systems and understanding how investing really works. You prefer to gamble because you're so brutally intellectually lazy that you would rather just place a bet and use your fantasies to make you feel better rather than building a life that when you open your eyes very wide and look around you, you're in a beautiful place with low stress, you're eating delicious food all the time, you can do whatever you want. That's real pleasure. The pleasure that's within your fantasies is not real. That is an NPC mindset. And like a lot of very wise guys have mentioned, dudes that specialize more so in predicting the future than me, the fucking VR will be for the plebs and real life will be reserved for the wealthy. People like me and people like you, if you take this game seriously and actually do the work and genuinely actually want to be successful. There's a lot of people out there that think they want to be successful, but it's just the fantasy that makes them excited. So be at peace with that. Be at peace with the fact that we're approaching this very deliberately. Maybe yes, investing analysis on my birthday. Happy birthday. Don't try and convince him. Yeah, absolutely. The little boys can sell their Bitcoin. I can't wait to graduate the masterclass in my Lambo and watch them work their 3 jobs while I'm learning and earning, baby. That's true. Yes. What is all of this? I'm not reading all that. Yeah. What is this? Trend probability indicator update. RSPS update. Yes, indeed. Adam goes live for the infamous daily analysis. For the first half of the stream consists of Adam going over the data, discussing, yes. In the second half consists of Adam taking live questions from the general chat. Complete your daily fitness, complete lessons daily, finish the masterclass, get your systems built. This is the time to fully commit. Life-changing opportunities are in front of you. Will you do what is required? Precisely. The fuck is the meaning of this? El Castro. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. River. Any tips to speak more clearly and confidently? Yes. Know what you're talking about. Any tips for body language? Yes, actually. I do have a tip for body language that I've noticed recently in myself that I've been trying to incorporate. Imagine that there is a rope attached to the top of your skull that's pulling you up at all times. And also, when you're walking, imagine that you're trying to push your hips and your dick forwards, like projecting your dick out of your hips, like really push the hips out. This will actually change the orientation of your hips and your spine to actually make your upper body look more aesthetically pleasing. If you combine that with like a good shoulders back kind of pose and a straight neck, your posture will actually be like A1 Greek god spec posture. But it starts at the hips. And because a lot of people's hips are very tight, like the hip flexors and the rotation of the hips is very tight from sitting down all the time. I've noticed this in myself. But if you really consciously push those hips out, it's you get some good posture going. But yeah, speaking more clearly and confidently, just take your time, man. Take your time, breathe deeply, and yeah, remember to pause when you think you're going to say an Those pauses will eventually get a lot shorter. GM Prof, been a while since I've caught an IA. I'm actually doing through the lessons. Yes, you're welcome, mate. Excellent, good stuff. Hey, Prof, would it be okay to leverage, say, 5x after Lunar New Year up to the halving? No, you retard. You are such a good wingman, Prof. Do my best. We're anticipating some sort of profit or increase it. We're anticipating of taking some profit or increase our BDC to ETH ratio in our SDCA portfolio close to the halving. No, why the fuck would we? Unless your idea of taking profit is an RSPS based thing, not an SDCA based thing. So don't confuse the two. GM, just got done getting punched in the face of Muay Thai, and now IA. Let's go. Good on you, man. Good work. Michael versus Adam, biggest rivalry ever. No, there is no rivalry between us. None at all. None at all, man. No rivalry whatsoever. We work as a team. It's just that we have different styles. Different styles completely. GM Prof, thank you for teaching us to be ice cold. Good. Hey, Prof, any update from Luke on liquidity? Nope, none yet. We appreciate you, Prof. Back to work. Good work. Hey, Prof, in regards to the liquidation maps, I get that when people use leverage along short, those stop losses, liquidation levels act like a magnet to price, but how? Why do stop losses act as a magnet? What is the physics of it? Well, they're forced buyers or sellers. When your stop loss gets hit and you've bought a token, what the fuck happens? What the fuck happens when you've bought something and your stop loss gets hit? It gets sold automatically. So, all stop losses are forced sellers, which means that more stop losses that get hit, the more forced selling there is, which drives the price down in that direction. It works in the up and down direction exactly the same. Are you ready? Gladiators ready. What the fuck? There's a plane with a banner flying out above my house right now. Okay. All of us desire short periods of bull market and long periods of bear market. What the fuck? Because my thoughts is that we want fast gains and longer periods of spending and enjoying the earned money. I mean, it doesn't matter what you desire. It doesn't matter what you desire. You just get what the market gives you. If that is what the market gives you, then whatever. The market doesn't care what the fuck you want. So many people, and even my father goes crazy after a 7% dip, bros saying to sell to USDT. Mate, retards, man. Celebrating pre-Valhalla by getting a 60-round drum. Fuck. It's nice, man. What are some of the best DEX exchanges? This is covered in the beginner's toolbox. Hey, Prof, much love and gratitude from Portugal. Yeah, good on you, man. Keep grinding. Don't give up. Hope you're doing well. The fact that the banks are accepting crypto, this is going to be the last big bull run after the market's peak. They will take profit. Yep. How is the mouse you have? I've ordered it about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, it's amazing. The MX Master 3S. Takes a while to get used to the clicks because the clicks are hypersensitive, but I'm really loving this now after a day or two of getting used to it. It's fucking good. It has actually increased the speed at which I can do stuff by like maybe 5 or 10%. Hey, Prof, would love to know how you keep that hair looking good 24/7. Practice, man. It's just that I comb it in the exact same way every single day. I usually like douse my hair in water in the morning and then I comb it into position and then just let it air dry while I have breakfast. But it's not, you know, if I leave the house, I'm going to put like hairspray in it or something, but I'm just chilling. So no needs for that. If Bitcoin pumped to $49,000 with the FOMO elements of ETF, this might be a sell the news event for many who bought Bitcoin earlier because money is flowing in, money moving into Bitcoin to ETH. People are selling BTC and buying ETH. Yep. I've been every live CIA for the nearly last, might be tough, but it's highly consistent. The message you preach is valued and respected. The masterclass is helping, working through it day by day. Shout out wardrobe modeling from Steve Jobs. Yes, my man. Thank you. Smart. Yes. People ask me, hey, Adam, why you wear the same shit every single day? Bro, this is the Steve Jobs mentality. If I wear the same fucking shirt every single day, I don't need to think about what I need to wear. Zero brain power spent on choices that are inconsequential to my life. Maximizing the amount of brain power spent on the things that do matter. There are a lot of things out there that don't matter. I eat the same fucking breakfast every single day. I drink the same water out of the same bottle. I make the same choices. My schedule for my investing analysis is the same. Wear the same clothes. Turn the lights on and off at the same time. Everything is the same. If you are on the grind and you need to focus on one thing at a time, that is the way to do it. You don't want to be hyper distracted by too many things. You want, like, at least that's what works for me. I like to focus on one thing at a time, become obsessed over it so you can go deep and then master that thing before you move on to something else. And so far, that's worked quite well for me. Do you know anything besides crypto, fighting, and real world skills like business or finances? I know a bunch of stuff. But this isn't about me, it's about investing. Yes, mid-Feb on BDC Season X looks like a slight ramp when considering liquidity during Lunar New Year's events. Okay. Okay. Yep. Noted. How do you highlight the percentage increase, decrease on TradingView? Hold down the shift button on your keyboard. Dick projection masterclass. Yes. No, not inject your dick out of your hips. Project your dick. Project. Females wouldn't understand. I'm sorry if there's any women watching. I'm trying to help out the bros here. It's a real thing. You got to believe me. Thank you for your lessons. Look at yourself in the mirror. I'm serious, guys. Go to the bathroom mirror and stand side on to the mirror and look at the way your hip and lower back, your lumbar spine goes into your fucking hips and the way that it connects to your legs. And then rotate your hips forward so it's like projecting your dick out, and then look at your fucking posture. It will look a million times better. I promise you. You'll look at it and you'll be like, damn, yeah, you know, I'm serious. Thanks for your lessons. What do you think about the theory that this will be the last BDC cycle? Yeah, well, I came up with that theory. No tokenomics. The reason all of your reasons are wrong. The reasons why I think that it'll be BDC's last cycle is because CBDCs will close off the access that everybody will have to, close off everybody's access to cryptocurrencies. So you won't be able to even get access to them. They'll still exist, but you just won't be able to buy them. 1 a.m., cracking down on my fundamental knowledge before starting lesson 2. Excellent. Fully allocated. Been looking every crook and crevice for anything in my house so I can sell. Good. Yeah, nice. Bit late, but I mean, better than nothing. I mean, you should have been here much earlier, you as a queen. I'm quite disappointed that you weren't here a couple of months ago selling everything that wasn't bolted down, but it is what it is. Hey, Prof, is market cap TLV a worthy metric? Yeah, no, I know the metric. I'm not entirely sure. It's okay, but is it a strong driving factor? Stronger than narratives, liquidity, technical rotations? Probably not. AI, yeah, nah. Sorry, man. Professor, are dips like this considered value? No, absolutely not. Bro, listen. Look. Dips like what? Honestly, think about the words that you're saying. Look at this chart. Okay, can you see on this chart the dip that happened today? Can you see it? Like really squint and look very closely to see if you can see the dip. I can see a little bit of a wick here. I can see the tiniest little wick right there. Is that what you consider value? Is that value to you? I see value when I look here and here and here. These are extreme value locations. The fuck do you call this? The fuck do you call that? Beacon lighting pickups for the... Yes. Moving on. Been watching the psychology lesson from Investing Lessons every day and has seriously calmed me down. Cheers. Good. Very good. Yeah, that's exactly what you should be doing. Can you talk about what you posted 2 hours ago in daily investing analysis? What did I post 2 hours ago? How many of your traders got liquidated on this move? Bro, what I'm talking about is when people go to this chart. See, you and I are looking at this chart and we're looking at it like this. And we're saying, okay, well, over the last couple of months, look, months, right? It's been going up. But there's so many of you that are thinking like, oh, well, maybe I could have caught this dip and I could have traded it to make some more money. And then you go onto the 12 hour, but that's not fast enough. So you'll go onto the 6 hour and that's not fast enough. And then you'll go onto the 4 hour. And at that point, you look at this and you say to yourself, oh, well, look, there was a couple of bars here where it was starting to decline. So maybe if I developed a system that goes really fast, I could have caught this decline and I could have shorted this with a high degree of confidence and made a whole bunch of money. But that's not where money is made, really, in my personal opinion. Like there are certain market environments where you can trade, but this type of market environment when you're in a bull market, you're not gonna make it by trading, in my personal opinion. The statistics show that 99% of people never make any money trading. That is like meta-analysis levels of scientific studies. It's fucking inside the daily investing analysis channel. If you go to pinned messages, I will do it here in real time. In real time, I'll do it right now. Look, we'll click on this and it'll take me up the page. A cross-section of speculator skill, evidence from day trading. We documented economically large cross-sectional differences in the before and after returns earned by speculative traders by analyzing day traders in Taiwan from 1992 to 2006. We sought day traders, and remember the meme of like Asians being better at kind of autistic shit than normal people are. So if you're a white person watching this, these people here are probably better than you at speculating. We sought day traders based on their returns in year Y and analyzed performance in year Y+1. The 500 top-ranked day traders go on to earn daily returns of 61 bips. Bottom-ranked traders go on to earn before whatever bips. Less than 1% of the day trader population is able to predictably and reliably earn positive abnormal returns net of fees. So, I have to ask you the question. Are you or are you not going to be the top 1% best in the world at this activity? Professor Michael is the top 1% best in the world at that activity. I know because I've seen it. He has made me money with his skills and I've traded alongside him. OGs will know the story from when we had the first major crash in 2001 and we traded together and he made me a lot of money when I needed it the most to recover from my first major career loss. And I've seen it. It's the real deal. But you need to be in the top 1%. How many other things in your life have you ever become top 1% in? Look at yourself critically and say, am I top 1% in anything? Do you have that potential within you? Be cold, because this is a cold game and the market is under no obligation to give you anything that you want. It's a very hyper-competitive environment where people are paid in proportion to their ability to take your money away from you. So the incentives are fucking enormous to fuck you over. The incentives for everybody to fuck each other over is incredibly powerful. So come to terms with that and be very, very critical. Now, when you're investing over the long run and you have liquidity on your side, when you have things like the liquidity cycle working for you rather than against you, and you know that when you're down here and you're in a rising liquidity environment, you have a massive correlation to positive asset performance and liquidity. Because all of these crypto assets and all other risk assets for that matter, including stocks, are denominated in dollars. So when they're making more dollars, people don't want them anymore. They exchange them for risky assets. And the threshold for performance, economic performance, is lowered, which makes risky assets more attractive. These are the economics of how risky investing works over the course of cycles. And this is where cycles come from. It comes from the expansion and contraction of this liquidity, which is reflected in credit and lending and money supply and all this type of stuff. And crypto is the purest representation of that. So if you are in a multi-year uptrend in liquidity, you know that this is how a fiat-based capitalistic society works. And the only thing you need to do is position yourself to take advantage of this multi-year cycle and be patient and to have the context in your mind very clear so that you know precisely over what time periods you should be operating over and how to construct your portfolio so that it remains reasonably well risk adjusted. How can you possibly lose? Anybody incorporating this type of method into their life cannot possibly lose over the course of their life because it is a positive expected value activity that requires very few things to go right in order for you to make huge amounts of money. right? But when you're investing or trading, I shouldn't say investing, when you're trading over short periods of time, you can literally quantify the amount of competition in a financial market through looking at the price activity. It's normally distributed, which means it's basically entirely random over very short time horizons, and it's positively skewed over very long time horizons. We want to take advantage of that natural skew. We don't want to work against it. If you willingly choose to trade, then you are willingly saying, I believe I am the top 1% possible skill of this activity, and I can beat randomness. I can beat the house, and I have perfect control over my brain and every single cognitive bias and heuristic that will prevent me from being an effective trader. You don't understand the levels of competition that you're up against, both externally and internally, because you can have the best technique in the world, but if the internal battle is lost, then you're fucked. Anyway, you should all have a very solid understanding of that already. How long did it take you to reach God tier? I'm not God tier yet, mate. I still have a long way to go. And that's another thing, which is like, I keep saying, one of my favorite quotes was from Gordon Ryan, the no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. After he won his last world championship against this guy that everyone was like, fuck, he was literally Brazilian, and he was like the world's best as well. And he won that competition, and he said, you guys are fucked. Like, globally, you don't understand how high my skill ceiling is, because I understand the game and I know what potential that I have left because I have deep knowledge of this skill set. He was like, my potential is still so much higher than where it is now. The same is true for me. I can perceive the depths of the skill set required in this activity, and I know that my skill ceiling is far fucking above where I am now. I have not even remotely reached like a part of my potential yet. Maybe I will never reach my full potential in this activity. But you know what the funny and ironic part of that is that even with me not needing to reach my full potential, I've already reached such a high level that it's easy for me to make fucking millions of dollars. So on the curve of like how good you need to be, you just need to focus on this type of shit for a few years until you get a really good skill set, and you're just going to be better than 99% of people. To get to the top 0.1% is like a lot further away, but you know, would it be that satisfying? I don't know. Man. Lol, from a woman's point of view, I found you fucking hilarious. Thank you very much, Marissa. Sometimes I watch these with my mother, so glad today is not one of those days. Not inject, you project. Someone needs to change their names to Adam's Hips. Bro, I joined the live, the professor is talking about dicks. Rotate out of ETH, rotate dick out of hips. FBI agent. No. I'm going to keep doing investing analysis. There'll be a lot of G's projecting their dicks in the mirror after this stream. Mate, you got to believe me. What timepiece are you wearing today, Prof? Spire Submariner. Yes, sir. Wear my sub every single day because I love it. Your claims about me, the white man, are confirmed by Asian people are better at autistic shit. Damn, Professor Michael's a real G. Yeah, it's true. Nah, not a day date. Prof, can somebody please, yeah, mate, I just showed you. It's in the pinned posts. Nobody needs to link it to you. You can just click the pinned messages button. What the fuck? After reading Fast and Slow, my motto is systems over feelings has never made more sense. Yes, and that's the thing. A lot of the stuff that I tell you to do and a lot of mindsets that you should have don't make sense until you read Thinking Fast and Slow. Thinking Fast and Slow is the red pill of investing. Thinking Fast and Slow is the red pill of everything, because you understand that the battle isn't between just you and the market. People hyper-focus on the battle between you and the market. The battle is internally. And I know that there's a lot of talk by a lot of people online, and they're like, oh yeah, you're just not a profitable day trader because of your psychology. Like that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. It's used as a cop out. It's used as an excuse. The activity itself isn't, in my opinion, capable of you being profitable in it as a normal person unless you turn it into a full-on, very, very long-term career activity. The battle internally first is to understand that your discretion is completely worthless, that your brain and your ability to make decisions when it comes to investing or trading or whatever, completely worthless. There is no such thing as instinct. There is no such thing as good judgment, in my personal opinion. Now, this is the framework and the heuristic that I use to look at the world, and that's kind of what I base everything off. Now, there are people out there that are the complete opposite, that don't use any systems whatsoever and completely have a qualitative view of the world, and they use their experience to make good judgment calls. A man like this is Stephen Ronald Bell. He is the complete polar opposite of me when it comes to investing. He literally has like a market instinct. But the thing that you cunts won't understand when you hear me say that, and I know you fucks out there will immediately think, oh, okay, Adam, so that means it's possible. So I can become like that. No, you can't become like that, motherfucker, and I'll tell you why. SRB has been in the fucking crypto game. Where are we? SRB has been in the crypto game since back here in like 2011, right? And he lived forward tested through all of this time looking at the market thinking, how does it behave and what does that mean? He's been in this game for so fucking long. And you know how long I've been in the game for? I've been in the game since back here, man. So it was somewhere, maybe he was over here in 2012 or 2011, somewhere around there. That is the amount of experience that is required to have an instinctual understanding of the market. You fucks will come into here and you'll spend this much time in the market and you'll be like, oh yeah, I have a feeling about where the market is going. And I'm just going to run off my instinct because now I feel like the market's going to go down, or I feel like the market's going to go up, or I'm scared, so I feel like I should go into cash, or, whatever. You could come up with a million different reasons and emotional reasons for why you should be doing anything. Did he give any signals? Are you fucking joking me? Damn, it's pretty good, Professor. Autumn, pleasure to have you. And yes, I don't always go into long, elaborate monologues, but sometimes I feel like when I'm in the vibe, I gotta hit the speeches. I gotta hit the speeches to make you people understand what the fuck is going on. Adam is in a good mood today. I am in a very good mood. I'm going to a war room meetup tonight, and I have a lady friend that I have organized for the after party. So life is good. I have millions of dollars in my portfolio. Couldn't get any better, really. When Adam says only 1% of traders are successful. So you're telling me there is a chance? Yep, that's pretty much it. Okay, what else do we have? I feel like I skipped past some questions. Please don't tax me. Prof. Adam is going to leave us because we can't ask intelligent questions. Cunts. Which courses have to be completed in order to gain access to the signals? I would suggest to you, my friend, focus more intensely on understanding the material rather than worrying too much about the signals. But yes, you need to unlock the investing lessons. Complete the investing lessons in order to get access to the signals. Don't tell your friend about your posture secrets. Yeah, posture alpha is top tier. How did the business meeting go the other day on ETF day? Good. Good. Yes, it went well. Thank you very much. I can't share any more information with you. I'm sorry. Your vibe is unique. People get used to it. And let's everyone remember when you first met Prof. Adam, he is unique as F. It is true. I try and be as unique as I can. And my dream, honestly, is that my job and what I do will become the least interesting part of my personality trait so that I can become the most interesting man in the world and be a race car driver and a jet plane flyer. That's the dream. Anyway. That's enough for me today. I'm going to sign off here. And yeah, love all of you guys. Remember, make sure you get that masterclass done. Never skip your lessons. Never skip investing analysis daily, every single day. Remember, we're covering different subjects and we pivot as things happen. So there's no use in coming here one day and being like, oh, Adam said that this may happen, and then not coming back the following days because the projection might change or something might change. Or maybe you just need to hear the sound of my voice to stay relaxed so that you don't make a silly decision. So I'm here for y'all. I'm not going anywhere, at least not for the bull market. I'm going to be right here. So I'll see you all tomorrow for another episode of Daily Investing Analysis. Peace.